Okay, so in this video we're going to be doing more on Power Query, right? So let's go to this time. I want us to import the number 2 of the files I sent to us. So we're going to go to data, get data from file. This time we're importing an Excel workbook because that's the file type, right? So the file type is an Excel workbook, right? Type Microsoft Excel. So that's why we're bringing it in. So get data file from workbook. Then I navigate to where that is on my system. Sorry. So number 2 is the one I want us to work with in this video. So now we can import multiple queries inside this sheet. Right? We can import the sheets and we can import tables. You know, when we did Excel, we talked about a range, what a range is and what a table is. Right? So we know the difference between a table and a range. So if you want to import a sheet, you are bringing in the entire sheet. But if you want to import a table, you are bringing in that particular object called the table that you inserted. Right? So in this case, there are no tables. We will still look at Power Query questions with tables, right? And now these are 2 sheets inside the Excel workbook I'm printing. So I'm trying to bring in, I can bring in more than one. So let me bring the clean one. So this is the preview here. This is what we're supposed to see. This is what is inside the clean sheet. This is the table in it. And then the dirty one. So this is the table inside the dirty one. So now the task is to sort this dirty one into the clean one. Right, so I click on transform data. Right, so this is the clean one and this is the dirty one. So we're talking more on using Power Query, right? So if you want to separate this column now into this, we will be splitting the column by delimiter. We've looked at delimiters before. I said a delimiter is something that is dividing your values, a sign, right, that occurs commonly. I said in our dates, the slash or hyphen can be the delimiter because you have day hyphen month hyphen year, right? So the hyphen there is acting as the delimiter. So in this case, space is our delimiter. Space is what is separating all the words. So I will just click on the column I want to divide, right? Then I go to my transform. My transform. Then I click on split column and I split by delimiter. So now the delimiter I want to use to split, is it comma? No. Even though there are commas here, I do not want to split my data at these commas. I want to remove the name first, then I will remove this first name, second name. So this time I want to remove by space. I want to split it by space. Now I don't want it at each occurrence. If I say each occurrence, it will separate the entire worksheet, and that will be counterproductive for me because it will scatter my address. All right, so I need to be careful about that. Now I'm going to say I want the leftmost delimiter, right, from the left. So the first occurrence of space is what I'm saying here. So split this column at the first occurrence of space, and I say okay. Right, so you see I've been able to remove the name. Now I have the first name and the last name. So I'm going to also use the split column by delimiter. So again, the split column option, right? Now by delimiter, and it's the space again. So space leftmost again, and I say okay, same thing, right? So I'll do that same thing again. This time I'm right clicking on the column. So split column by delimiter. Again is the space. All right, so leftmost delimiter again, the space on the left side. So I say okay. Again, I've been able to get, now separated the name, the first name, and the last name. All right, so now I'm going to split the address also. I need to remove all these addresses. So click on the column, say split column by delimiter again. Leftmost delimiter, change this to space, and I say okay. Right? So now, if I was to use space to split this delimiter again, what do you think will happen? I would scatter my data, right? I will scatter my address, because if I split at delimiter, number will come out, 11 will come out, 1 will come out, number again, and those don't mean anything on their own. They need the rest of the address, right, to mean something. So I cannot keep splitting from the left. Right now, I would now start splitting from the right. Right, so I want you to turn your attention to this male, female at the back, the genders at the back. So I will select this column. Right, if it was on this column and I say split, I would have an error. So I must click on the right column. Right, split column by delimiter. Then I say space. Right, rightmost delimiter. Right now. So if I say okay, so as you can see, I've been able to split the mail. Now this exercise is a bit repetitive. Again, it's because we're trying to get used to the idea of Power Query. So again, select this split by delimiter, then rightmost, and I say okay. Sorry, I have an error. Now this is even good that I have this issue, because I wanted to show you in the last video, I forgot to add it, how to undo actions in Power Query. Control Z does not work in Power Query, right? You cancel this, cancel the steps, you come to the applied steps and you cancel it. So cancel this, right? And I cancel this. So the action I just did, I've undone. So I'm selecting this and I'm saying split column by delimiter, and it's the space I want. Rightmost now, sorry, we're coming from the right, so rightmost, and I say okay. So can you see I've been able to search gender. Now I'm going to do the same thing for age and age, then I will know that I've completed. So let me just do that. Split column by delimiter, I want a space, and then I say rightmost, okay. Then I would say I'll do the same thing again. So split by delimiter, the rightmost delimiter, space, so the rightmost occurrence of space, and I say okay. And now you can see that I cannot separate. If I do the same thing again, I'll separate Onitsha, Enugu, Delta, and like that, and I'm not supposed to have it. They're supposed to be part of the address. So with doing this, I've been able to preserve the integrity of my address. So now what is left to clean this data, to transform this into this, right, is just to delete the necessary columns and all of that. So I will say this column, I'm not interested in it, right? Hold my control down. This column also, I'm not interested. This column also, and then this column. Now I can say in my home tab, I can say remove columns, right? I can also use the delete, again, the top right button on your computer. Delete, you can also press delete. So I can, so let me just say remove rows, remove columns rather. So I've done that. Now the next thing will be to merge these two columns. So I want you to pause the video and try to merge it on your own, then play the video after I do it. So I'm going to do it now. So pause the video, right? So to do that, I click on this column first because I want this first name to appear first, right? And then I hold my control and click on the second column because I want Hussein Hakim, not Hakim Hussein. So if I clicked on this column first, I would have Hakim Hussein. So as I clicked on this column, I have Hussein, then control Hakim, right? So now I go to my transform and I say merge columns. So now what do I want to use as the separator? We looked at this already. The delimiter should be space and the column should be full name. And I say OK. Right? Then now I just rename this column. I already taught us how. You can double click and address. Right click and say rename. This is H. And then right click and say rename gender. And like that, we're able to turn our dirty data into the clean one. So pause the video and go over it over and over and over as many times as you need to. All right.